Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is Well Red Beard, and let's talk about a book. We're here for a book review. I almost said shorts on shorts. We are here for a book review, and today we are in Twisted Tainted Tales by Janine Pipe. This book is 17 stories, and I've done shorts on shorts for all of them. So at the end of this, we'll put a playlist together where we'll have the shorts on shorts and the review. And if you want to check that out, you could. If you really want to spend that much time with me, I mean, I would be honored. But anyway, I liked the book. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 3 stars. The stuff that I did like was that this thing is written from a perspective of our narrator is gone into the house of this famous writer and found these like lost writings, like almost like experimental writings, where the famous author was kind of testing their skill at different, genres and subgenres and horror and this and that. And I enjoyed the way the stories were wrapped in like a larger overall narrative. And that was really cool. Now the stuff that I didn't really dig, the author Janine breaks the fourth wall a lot. I mean, not necessarily a lot, but does. And I read a review by John Lynch. John, what's up, man? He said kind of the same thing, and he said it, basically what I was trying to say, and it was that the author would tell you how to feel rather than show you, rather than make you feel it, like tell you how to feel or tell you something you should know rather than just trusting you to know it. Like there was one story in particular, and I did not take notes on which one it was, but it's the 80s, right? And there's one part where I think it's one where two boys are going into there's two boys involved, I think, and it goes to the trouble of telling you, now remember, this is this time period. There were no cell phones, no Facebook or WhatsApp, whatever. And, just little things like that kind of, another thing was, there's a lot of nostalgia dump in this. I don't mind an author, kind of, highlighting their favorite horror works, or kind of paying homage, I can never say that word, homage, paying homage to different things in there, but it just felt like there was a lot, like excessively a lot. That's where I was at. The stories, again, this is Janine's first time. This is Janine's first book, first collection. I have read a couple of her, or at least one of her other stories in an anthology, and I really like that one. Like if I remember correctly, it made my top 4 stories in that particular anthology. But this one, again, there's a lot of commentary. There's story notes. There's a whole aspect of it being like found stories, but there's notes after each story on what the author was trying to do, or what the author, and a lot of it kind of tells you that some of these were stories that were maybe passed on for like other, homes, like anthologies. And then some of them were like very, very early writings for her. So, I don't want to say you could feel that, but you could kind of feel that. This is, but 3 stars, I liked it. I and look, if you can't tell, I'm stumbling. I mean, it's kind of hard, for me to not just say, God damn, I really, like Janine as a person. Here's 5 stars, but my loyalty is to you, the reader, and not to authors. So I'm going to give it 3 stars. Now, I still went through and again, Jesus Christ. 3 stars means I liked it. It means I liked it. Just means I wasn't in love, okay? So, but I did go through and pick my favorite stories. And my 4th favorite story, if I can read my notes, because that is a big problem for me. My 4th favorite story is Tainted Love. It's a subtle, wait a second, is that right? Okay, here we go. Tainted Love. A lady and a man meet on a bus, and man, for her, it's love at first sight, but she knows. I mean, she knows he feels this too. He must feel how they are meant to be together. uh, whether forever or whether just between the sheets. But I mean, it's very stalkerish. Like you get that feel. This is this chick is. It had the you feel, the Caroline Kepnes you feel, but and that's what it felt like. But they do end up leaving together eventually, and then it takes a turn. Not something I was really expecting, into these classic tropes. I mean, a little bit of Dracula, a little bit of Frankenstein, and even this biblical aspect of like Adam and the first man, and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that story. So that's number 4 for me. Number 3 for me is Love is a Battlefield, and it's got this post-apocalyptic blah 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 post-apocalyptic eat the rich feel, where in this apocalypse the lesser classes have risen up and they have stormed the gated communities and the mansions, and they have, in a lot of cases, just flat out murdered the rich people. But in other cases, they've kept them alive for the games. And the games can wear many different faces, different aspects, different things, different trials that these former, Silver Spoon folks have to face. And so it had a feel of The Running Man, Hunger Games, stuff like that. The Purge, really felt a lot like The Purge. But so I really enjoyed that one. That's my 3rd story. My 2nd favorite story is Sweet Child O' Mine. And that one's subtle. It's very subtle. It's very quiet horror. And it deals in one of my favorite tropes, whatever, the imaginary friend thing. The kid, a lot of times in these possessed kid stories, there's always starts with this imaginary friend. And man, I got a story to tell you about my daughter and her imaginary friend when she was young, but I won't go into that. But in this one, a family, they've been vacationing. They've been to the beach, they've been to Disney, they're theme parked out, they're beached out, they're sightseeing out, and they just go to this farm, and the mother went there as a child. She went there for weeks or weekends or whatever as a child, and she doesn't remember a lot of facts about her time there. She just remembers that she didn't feel alone, like she didn't have to play alone. And on the ride back with her daughter, they get to talking about this, and the daughter talks about who she was playing with, who she was spending time with at this farm. And so very subtle. But as far as just flat out creep factor, that one got me with the creep factor a bit. So my number 1 story is the first story in the book, and that might be, this whole thing is built on this series of found stories. But then, a lot of the titles are 80s rock songs, and at the end of it, it actually even gives you like a Spotify playlist for like inspirations or whatever, but a Spotify playlist for each story in the book. And where was I? Oh, so you get into the whole thing about how to create a good playlist, or how to back in the day, how to create a good mixtape. Well, for me, the number 1 story was at the front of the book, which makes sense because it was nominated for a Splatterpunk Award. But in this one, it's called Footsteps, and shit, am I getting this right? I have like 0 notes on it. All I have is that it was nommed for a Splatterpunk Award. So here we go. This one's about 3 girls that go off in the woods, and people have been going missing out there. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of conjecture, a lot of urban legend about this particular deep, dark, sprawling area of the woods. And in this one, when I did the shorts on short, I said there was one place where I really thought the author was just going to horrify us, just really, really slap on the gore and blood. And they didn't. She chose to take that particular piece that I thought could be like an overwhelming smack in the mouth, and kind of made it real subtle. And I mean, at the time, I guess I was kind of saying it was a negative. I don't know. But, I mean, it could go either way, right? I mean, an author making a choice like that, it can go either way. So, anyway, that's my top 4 stories. We had, let's see if I can give them to you again. 4 was Tainted Love. 3 was Love is a Battlefield. 2 is Sweet Child of Mine. And I will spare you my Axl Rose impression. I thought about it. I really did. And number 1 is Footsteps, the very first story in the book. So this is Well Read Beard, Twisted Tainted Tales by Janine Pipe. I'm giving it 3 stars. I hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them, as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.